I think knowing your market sooner is like the ideal thing to have, and you can do that through customer discovery. But I think customer discovery is really a numbers game. Um, and I mean, we've probably talked to over 300 people, and we're still figuring it out, which is a good thing. That's not a bad thing. So I mean, I think that's just tough, right? Like, let's think about all the markets. We went from windows to roof coatings to automotive to cosmetics to applications through printing. So we have color that can be printed. You could break down printing into like flexographic, rotogravure, industrial inkjet, screen printing, etc. You can break down automotive to OEM and aftermarket. You break down architectural coatings into decorative versus performance. You can, I mean, so there's all these like routes that you can go into. So it's kind of a cop out to say, like, I wish I knew our market sooner, because we have a lot of opportunities there, and it just takes time to explore all that, and you only have so many man hours. One thing that's helped me in my journey a lot is not being afraid to ask for stuff. I would say that both myself and my co-founder are relentless on asking for things. And I guess that sounds maybe entitled by saying it, but one thing my grandma always said is like, how are people going to know you want something unless you ask for it? And that's been absolutely key in trying to gain knowledge for all these different roles that we need to take on. So don't be afraid to ask. One of the goals that I'm working on is I've gone from being a technical person to doing what I'd call business development. And more recently, I've taken on the role of marketing and sales. All of the roles I like. And soon, I'd also say, I guess I'm doing legal too, to a degree. But one thing that we're doing is we're starting to quote companies on our project. So we have our business model that we're working on. Our business model is a partnership model where we are trying to partner to go to market. We have all these different verticals that we can hit that are somewhat differentiated in like a technical standing. And we know our core product is an additive, and we understand how to formulate it. So that's our value, is we can make this stuff, and then we can tell you how to mix it into your existing systems to a degree. So one thing that we've started working on is to be able to partner with people. They want to kick the tires. They want to see if it works. So I've developed these sample kits, as we call them, where we give them low quantities of our material. And then we also give them consulting advice, like free formulation help, essentially, to see if it works in their existing systems. That was a huge game changer, is just changing like how we can engage with customers. So we knew we didn't want to give them free samples, but we thought that going right to a partnership for 6-figure deals is obviously too much of a jump, because you need to get that internal champion, that internal agreement that that's where they want to go. So one thing that we found, though, is that there's a lot of, like, we have our boilerplate quote for the sampler kit, and there's a lot of like companies want to put their own legal terms. They want to negotiate this. So one thing that I'm learning right now is when to use lawyers and the importance of them, and kind of what language you can and cannot change. And I'm not really sure how you can teach that outside of like trying to see more documents. But one thing is, I've been hesitant to use lawyers, and in some cases that slowed us down a lot. So we've been like at a standstill with a company that wants to give us a pretty decent amount of money, just because we tried to negotiate something up front, and the terms that we initially thought we could go, our lawyers were like, we shouldn't do it that way. And it's really stalled out in negotiation. So to kind of put in like a summary, like our willingness to use lawyers, or our willingness to involve counsel early has been a slowing down of being able to generate some revenue.